Roger Linn changed everybody's life when he dropped the LinDrum.
What's up? You got your boy Dyreck, aka Native Shades, reminding you to like and subscribe, because today we're gonna be talking about the LinDrum. What had happened was, okay, so around 1980, Roger Linn, nicknamed the father of drum machines, decided to drop the LM1. Now, this product was about $5,000 when it came out. Can you believe that? $5,000. Do you know how much $5,000 was in 1980? That's equivalent to $16,000 right now. Only the top musicians could afford this machine when it came out. But Roger Linn didn't stop there. He said, okay, he created the LM1, about 500 of it was sold. And some people had some complaints and stuff, but he said, okay, I got something for you. Give it a couple years, around 1982, Roger Linn decides to drop the LinDrum. And everything from then on changed. So the LinDrum was a drum machine. You had your drum section. You had to the right your mixer section. On the top right, you had your tuning section. And on the top left, you had your programmable features as far as programming the sequencer and everything like that. The LinDrum gave you everything you needed to program your drums in your production. Now, this was a blessing in a way, because finally, you got the drum machine of your dreams. Now you can just create a drum sequence and boom, you just start piling on the rest of the music on top of it. Now you can put your bass on top of it. You can put your keys on top of it. You can put your horns on top of it. It helped out a lot. But not everybody was happy with the LinDrum, particularly drummers. Drummers were really pissed off on this because it was putting them out of work. You had bands like, damn, man, you know, we got to get rid of somebody, man. We got too many people in this band. It's like a classroom. Who should we get rid of? They're like, what about Donnie over there? He's the drummer. Hey, Donnie, come here for a second, man. Yeah, man, sorry to tell you, man, but we're going to have to let you go. It's a tax thing, man. It's tax problems. And Donnie's all pissed off. Donnie's like, man, you bastards. I know you guys got somebody else, man. I've been seeing how you've been watching me when I'm playing and everything. Who is it, man? Who's my replacement? And then they just point at the corner and they say, that guy right there. Yeah, the LinDrum. So drummers were tight, man. Drummers were pissed off. They were getting kicked out of bands left and right. They were leaving the drummers out. It was horrible. But little do they know, Roger Linn in a couple of years would develop another machine called an MPC, which would destroy the whole band concept as we know it. The LinDrum was great. You had an 8-bit, 28 to 35 kilohertz. 15 outputs in the back for each individual sound. You even had a sync output in the back and a trigger output in the back. 42 preset drum patterns, so if you couldn't think of a pattern yourself, just use one of the presets. The sounds were so realistic you couldn't really tell if this is programmed drums or if this is a real drummer going in, to tell you the truth. I mean, they were using acoustic drums for the most part. The way you can tune the drums, level the drums, sequence the drums, you really believe that there was a drummer there doing this. The LinDrum was great. In the LinDrum, you had your snares, your bass drums, your crash, your cowbells, your tambourines, your congas, your side sticks, your hats, your cabasas. You have every drum sound you would imagine in your LinDrum. And I know you're looking at it and like, hey, those don't look like as many buttons as you just named off. Well, the LinDrum has a percussion button, and it's like an alternate button that gives it two functions. So if you press it, it could be on toms. And then if you press it again, it can go to the tambourine. Or if you press it, it could be on the cabasas. And if you press it again, it could be on hats. So it was pretty innovative thinking at the time, you know. Above on the top right, you had a tuning section that allowed you to tune certain drums. Now, you couldn't tune the bass drum, but you could tune the snares, the toms, the congas. You could put decay on the hats, and you had the panning left and right section. So this was pretty impressive, because on the LinDrum, you could make a dope sequence on the LinDrum, where if people listen to it, they're like, wow, this thing sounds amazing. I love this. And then somebody else comes in and they're like, I like this, man, but I don't want to use the same drums, man. Do you got something else? You could be like, hey, bro, just wait 1 second. And you can just start tuning, decaying, and panning left and right. And that original dope drum sequence will sound completely different. And it will still be original. And it'll still be dope. Now, you might say, that's all fine and dandy, Native Shades. But how does the LinDrum sound? You've heard the LinDrum sound before. Matter of fact, some of y'all was raised off of the LinDrum sound. Have you ever heard this? Cause this is Thriller night, and no one's gonna save you from the beast about to strike, yeah. Or have you ever heard this? Let's hear it for the boys. Or my favorite, the first comic I've ever saw. Take on me, take on me, take me on. Countless hit records used the LinDrum. Madonna's Lucky Star, Ready for the World's Oh Sheila. Some say Michael Jackson's Billie Jean used the LinDrum. The reason was because this was incredibly innovative. Finally, you got a drum machine playing on time. And the way Roger Linn programmed that whole sequencer was phenomenal, as far as adding time correction, you know, the whole quantize thing and swing and everything like that. I mean, to us, it's like regular stuff now, but back then it was transcending. So the LinDrum is easy. You can create a song on the LinDrum. It got a song mode, or if you want to, you can just copy and paste the sequence and just continue on, and continue on. So you can make your sequence as long as you want to make it. It really was detailed, and he really went into the core of how a drummer would create music. And Roger Linn played the guitar. That's something that's really crazy. It went to the extent of, you know how like in some of the drum machines or even the samplers that you have, you know, the kick is usually to the left and would be the first button, so to speak. And the snare would be the second button, kind of on the right. Well, Roger Linn developed a LinDrum where the kick is on the right and the snare is on the left, because that's how a drummer would drum. They would have their kick drum on their right, and then they would use their left hand to hit the snare. So this is a musician programming this machine versus a programmer programming the machine. Like if you check out a lot of the drum machines now, they're programmed from programmers. You know what I'm saying? That's why the kick is the first button to the left and everything. But Roger's a musician. He knew to put that kick on that right side. Now, when the LinDrum came out, it was about $3,000, which was not bad. It was $2,000 cheaper than when the original LM1 came out, so it wasn't too bad. You know what I'm saying? Still, you know, top musicians were getting it, but if you had a studio or you was a working musician, you probably could save up and get yourself a LinDrum back then. You know, since then, the LinDrum has formed like a cult following. I think there was only 5,000 of the LinDrums actually created. So whoever got it, got it. You know what I'm saying? You can go to eBay and try to get one. Last price I saw for one was $7,999. Can you believe it? Right now in 2021, the LinDrum going for like $8,000. I can't pay $8,000 for a drum machine, man. I'm so broke I can't even pay attention. You know what I'm saying? So the LinDrum is way too much money for me, man. But yeah, that's the LinDrum. What had happened was, so this is your boy Dyreck, aka Native Shades, reminding you to go down low in the description and get that MPC1 Hidden Strategies Well, I'm showing you some of the dopest illest strategies on the MPC one. And you get a pretty dope free bonus that comes along with it. Check it out. So this is your boy Dyreck, aka Native Shades, reminding you to like and subscribe. And I'm signing off.